Hey y'all, so back on for part 3 of this series. Let's see how far we get here. So today it's going to be all about acrylic markers and acrylic paint markers and seeing how they react with the UV resin, comparing on the copy paper versus the thick artist paper. So we're going to pretty much jump right in just because you guys kind of know the drill. I am, though, going to do both papers colored right off the bat and kind of hopefully maybe get this all into one episode just so that the series doesn't drag on forever kind of thing, okay? I mean, obviously, content is content, but I also realize you don't want to hang around with me forever as much as I would love you to. I get it. It's fine. Alright? Alright, so on with it. Acrylic markers. These are double-sided. They have a fine tip and they have more of the brush side. So really not worried about which way we do. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's all about just being random and having fun with it. So I'm going to try to, if I can do this right, where you guys can see both papers. I'm going to get both these corners done at the same-ish time. Sure. We say sure. Let's make a little bit more room. Okay, yeah, so y'all can see that. You can see my markers. We'll put that there so I'll hold my papers where I need them anyway. So again, we don't need a huge space, and we don't need to be very particular with anything. Just more than anything, getting us some color and something to work with in the resin, right? So I'm not even going to do as big of an area just because I know that it wasn't needed. I might need to go a smidge bigger though with this one. And we'll just bring this one up and over too. Okay. Start second guessing myself, you know. And again, I'm just going to go with whatever brush side comes up. I'm just going to roll with it because, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want as much color as we can possibly get on here. And I'm doing some smaller circles this time just because those earrings are so teeny tiny. I just figure, why not? There's some extra UV resin that was sitting there and I just smeared some of this acrylic paint. So that's a key thing to note, that you're going to want to make sure the paint is dry before we start UV resining. So probably good that we get these painted up and let them sit while we make us some earring bases. Alright, this pink is pretty light, but that's okay. We need all sorts of colors. This green looks pretty. Ooh, I really like it. I'm just filling in some color. Get this more. That's the only problem with doing really small dots, is that does take more time to fill this in. But that's okay too. I just got to go with it. Oh, we painted our silicone matte. That's okay, it's silicone, it'll wipe right off. If it needs encouragement, we'll do a little rubbing alcohol and voila, it will come right on off. Let's do an orange in here. Oh, we got a different brush. So gives us like little teardroppy, raindroppy kind of spots. That would be really cute to do on a whole piece. That'd be that. Okay. I don't want it to overtake too much of the space. The nice thing with the acrylic paints is, like, I probably could have done a base green almost and then come over top, because whatever color I'm putting on top is kind of overrunning that space, that color, just because it's acrylic and not a marker. Let's try to get a little yellow in here. See, we can go over the darker with the yellow and end up really having some yellow. You just gotta be careful that you don't blend too much with colors. And you'll end up with a brown mess, and we don't want that. Right. Let's get this deep purple in here. Oh yes. I was like, I'm not gonna go with the choose which brush, but I really want this one. Should be the brushy brush instead of the fine point. I was being picky. I just think it creates a really unique shape. I like it. I like it like that. Well, we have the dogs put away and no kid interruptions, and that's nice. I probably just jinxed myself though. Like, oh yeah. Probably did. Like, how do you guys find time to craft? Do you make the time? Do you put it on your calendar? What's your system? I try for every Wednesday. Everybody in the house knows that Wednesdays are Mom's night to do tutorials. Used to be just to get into the craft space. Now I do tutorials, so it has a little bit extra things that I'm doing, which is great. It also makes me stay consistent about making sure that I'm getting time in the craft space and not just because I feel like I have an obligation to post a video, so it like forces me to, okay, think of ideas and tutorials and work through those ideas and tutorials, and then record them. So it gives me that, opposed to, oh, I'm going to come into the craft space and then I'm going to get overwhelmed by everything that's in here, and then I don't even craft, and it's like, oh, well, that did nothing for you productive. So, and my husband watches wrestling on Wednesdays, so as long as I get the kids to bed and the dogs up to be with my husband, then we're good. And truthfully, it's just one kid that's got to get to bed. The other one, she's 14. We're in teenage phase, so, you know, she don't want anything to really do with Mom or anybody for that matter. So we just let her be. This, I'm just trying to get a little bit of light in it, color. So I'm just dabbing some of this. It's not doing a ton, as you can probably tell, but just giving us a little bit more. Totally random. Okay, I think those are good. we're going to roll with them. So let's move this out of the way. Put it back on its shelf. Alrighty, let's move these out of our way. Let them dry. We will get our lamp and our mold. Look to see if I had a second mold of this, and I don't, that I could find anyway. Maybe I do, I just can't find it. No telling, to be honest with you. So it's all good. We made it this far with one. We're just gonna keep rolling with one. Alright, so I have filled those pretty good, but I did not get around the earring part, so we are just going to bring it around. We always end up with bubbles around that, so I just figured I would drag it into that space and see. This one always ends up with lots of bubbles. Don't know why. The right side. Not sure if you can see, but there's a whole family of them. And they're not all at the surface, so just takes us working a little bit to get them to the surface. Come on. Like I do not want to set y'all on fire. I feel like it's getting close. Come on. Why don't y'all? It's like little micro bubbles. They may just have to be. Yep, they're just going to be. We're not going to risk setting that on fire. Not doing it. And not doing it. Again, not on that bingo card for this year. Alright, put that on. So, recap what we've got going. Let's Resin, UV resin, high viscosity. I get this off of Amazon. I just put on my subscribe and save. Skip a month if I don't need any. Comes in a 2-pack. They come, just in case you haven't seen a different video that shows this, they come in a 2-pack. They come fully sealed. They come with the little spout and everything. I just hook it onto the back with some masking tape so that I can find the spout when I'm ready to open this one. I just leave it like that. This way it's fully sealed. It's not gonna go bad. I mean, it would take, I think, forever for UV resin to go bad. I guess it could if it sits too long. But this will get used this year. I mean, I use enough UV resin. It's gonna get used within the year. I've never had it go bad because I've never had it for like excessive amount of time, I guess. But that's how I keep them. So I open the one I need and then I just keep that little spout attached because I know myself. When I go to need that one, I will have no clue where the spout went if I put it somewhere else. So, and my resin just sits on a little shelf cart that I have next to me. So, that little cap would have to go into a drawer or onto something, you know, or in something, and that's just setting yourself up for failure right there. So, when these come out, we're going to trace them on both of those papers so that we can get our pieces cut. And we'll probably cut the first set out and get them going so that we can get that back under the light and then keep cutting our others. Just so that we can keep this moving and grooving. Moving and grooving. So, this is cured. Ended up with a big stinking bubble right there. It's just going to be what it is. And that's just how it is. I'll trace this one because it doesn't have that bubble protruding on it. They came out good as far as the height goes. I'm really happy with that. And my earring spot is really good. I would say that takes some practice. The first few times I've done earrings with UV resin or with resin, having that hardware hole not get filled is a little bit challenging. So if at first you don't get it, if like it comes out really funky, and you're like, what in the heck am I supposed to do with that? Just keep practicing, okay? Because my first ones didn't always come out so pretty. Not gonna lie. It was a little, needed a little help there, for sure. And I still think I have them somewhere. And I'll probably end up just going into another piece that I need extra resin for to fill it or something. Because, yeah, whatever. Unless I can figure out how to get it filled in and then drill a hole or something. I just set them aside because I was like, okay. Alright, so we traced on that paper. And then we're going to trace on this paper. This one's not as forgiving, so it needs room. These are like really pretty if they come out the way I'm thinking for them. Again, if you were wanting to make sure that you got a certain area, you could do that. I'm not overly concerned. I'm more just get them on here and get them cut kind of thing. I'm realizing how messy I am with my paint. That it's all over my fingers somehow. Like, just feel like I'm covered, but I'm really not that bad. It's just, I think because I'm super close to my hands right now, it's making me feel self-conscious. Okay. Whew, we had enough space here, just barely. Okay, so we're going to do these ones a little bit backwards in the sense of I'm going to cut this out and then I'm going to fill those with some resin and we'll pop some of these in to it and get that curing, basically, is what I'm saying. So, since these are going to be the ones that get popped into the pieces, the first two that I get cut here, I'm taking a smidge extra off of them because I want to hopefully have it nestle a little bit more into that piece. We'll see if I did enough or too much or too little, you know. Kind of 1/2 dozen or the other there. Alrighty. Look how teeny tiny those are. But look how stunning them are. Them are. Good English use tonight. Oh, we have to take this guy out. Okay. Let's fill you up. Like, yes. I do think I liked pushing the resin up in that area better than I do trying to fill it around. Yep, ended up with a big bubble up there, but it released. And we got a few little bubbles. Poppity pop, 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 pop. Poppity pop, pop, pop. Come on, pop, pop. Yay, thank you. Like, come on now. Don't give me a hard time. Alright. Well, this one was a little bit wide, I think. But maybe not. I'm going to try something. I have just a little bit of resin in a cup over here. I'm going to just try to paint like the thinnest little bit on that. Whew, that is pretty. Pretty. You could do that too. Giving me all sorts of ideas. I love it. Okay, I'm not going to put any on the back because we'll get some on there. And then we're just going to pop those under. Now, this little doodad had some extra that needs to come off. Man, that bubble, like, he decided to, like, bubble up on it. Oh yeah, we gotta cut these, don't we? Okay. So these are going on the back. Got myself kind of like, where am I? What am I doing? Oh yeah. We're speed crafting. You've heard of speed dating. This is called speed crafting. Although really, you know what? What you put into it is what you get out of it. So don't go too fast. Okay? That is my advice. Alright. So these, we're going to put the resin on the back of these. And then we will lay these on top, cure it. And then we will do a rub off of that. So I'm going to let that finish curing so that we can help use that mold as our base for this, because it's got to be close to done for sure. I'm sure this is going to be, oh excuse me, I'm staying up too late to craft tonight, clearly. Those are going to be really pretty too. I really like these. Yeah, they're done. They're good. So those are in there. You can kind of see them through the mold. Get a little sneak peek. I don't see like massive bubbling. Maybe a smidge, but like came out pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, so I'm just going to use this other side here just to be kind of our holder, so that we can not have to like tape these down or anything. We could try to peel that off. I'm not going to. I'm just going to seal these since it's the copy paper. And I just feel like sealing it is the way to go. I know we did some rubbing on the marker one, but we're not going to do that on this one. And then just nice thin layer across the back of these. We could stick them back in the said molds and then work on this, but we're gonna get these both cured up all at the same time. Yep, you're not wanting to cooperate, and I don't like that. Get it together. Oh, yep, not what we wanted to do at all. Okay. Yep. But it's what happened. So, I don't really have enough to cut another one. So we're just gonna roll. I should really put on a finger cut or two, but we're already here. We're already in this. We're just gonna keep rolling with it. Okay. Yep, feel like we did enough damage. So let's just get that under the light. Clear that up. I'll take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and just wipe my fingers off. That's where finger cuts would be really good. Finger cuts aren't super obstructive when you're using them, because they're sealed so tight onto your fingers usually. That's the only thing that bugs me a little bit, is I feel like my circulation is being cut off. But most resin kits that you get, or not, maybe not most, but there are a lot of kits out there that give you some free finger cuts, and you can use them for a couple rounds. So totally worth it. I mean, they're on super tight. It's just like I said, they kind of feel like they restrict my fingers so much, then like, so I don't like them on for long, but lesson learned on that one. So we're probably not going to be able to do much peeling on that one because it got so much resin on the backside. But every mistake is fixable or workable. We just have to be creative, and in this particular situation we just may not be able to do exactly what we wanted to, and that's okay. It's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be all good. Be all good, be all good. It's okay. And because we are setting up the first ones that we had gotten the backs on, since I domed the back of the copy paper, I want to let this cure the whole 2 minutes. I don't want to rush it and pull them early, because in theory this could be its last cure, essentially, under the light. So as long as this covered everything, which it did, those feel really good. Now we've got some stringy things happening here. While it's still warm, if it's not too thick, I can usually with my finger get it off, but if not, a little scissor trim is in order. And then anything worse than that, you would get the Dremel out. Okay, we're going to bring those close to do the reveal. I feel like these guys deserve some reveal. Let's see. Okay, coming up close. So here's the back side. Not too exciting, right? Oh my goodness. Don't mind some of the fingerprints on there that I, you know, handled them all crazy. But those are really, try to get close. There's a big old bubble in that one, but you don't see it when you're too far. Like, obviously I see it because now I can't unsee it as the artist, but those are really pretty. They look really pretty under that. Like the paint almost looks, sorry I took you guys out of view because I was trying to look at them without the camera. And this one has some bubbles down the center, but the paint almost looks 3D. I love that. So that is on copy paper. That is stunning. I could, whew, my brain, whew, just mind blowing my brain right now. Whew, okay. I really like this because there's so much you could do with that. That is amazing. Okay, so this is the one that didn't get a ton of resin on the back, so I think we will be able to do some peeling of it. And it's that real thick paper, so we got to get underneath it. The advantage of the markers is that they bled through that paper, so we started to see the coloring pretty quickly and didn't end up rubbing a ton off, which is fine. Either way is fine. I'm just stating that that's what happened. Oh, gotta be careful with this version that we don't go so deep that we peel the paint off. So that's interesting. Learning. You know, you'll learn. Learn as we go. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Now this one, I think is hopeless. We're not going to get anything off of it. I might as well just dome it. It is what it is. This one, I want to let that dry just a smidge before we dome it, because we did use water. And what do we know? Water and resin don't go well together. Moisture, so we're just going to blast it with a little bit of heat. Have that dry up before we seal it. And we'll see. Maybe it will pop that way and we'll know that that would be a cool effect to do. Or maybe it's not worth doing the peel because it doesn't give it any different effect on the back. And that we like the front. Anyway, this piece right here is a little bit of a hot mess, I'm not gonna lie. When I pulled it out, I could see the front of it and feel the front of it, and there's definitely some ridges happening, so it's going to be fun to clean up. But that will be probably the last tutorial of this. Of this series will be cleaning up our pieces and adding our hardware and determining which version we like the best. So it did kind of give it a neat muted effect on the back side here. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool looking. Trying to pop some of those bubbles that have pulled up here. Whoops, trying to blow out my ladder. And then it also allowed me to see that I had some resin missing on that side. And it's a little crooked, but it's gonna cure up so quickly, I'm not overly worried. Okay, so before we get too far ahead of ourselves, these are paint pens, is what I'm going to call them, on thick, straight into resin. That way we know which one those are, because I don't want to forget in our doing of the copy paper. I don't want to get them mixed up. I don't want to be like, well, which one were these? Especially at the end when we're cleaning all these up, I want to be able to see them and really judge which one we like the best. Okay, those are probably about done. Oh, I feel like I'm losing my look at that, losing my feeling in these fingers. I gotta take those off. Sure. Okay, you got to be close. You've got to. It does have kind of a unique effect. I'm curious what the front side of these look like. Like, are they gonna be neater? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. The lighting changes so much when I have that light on compared to off. It's kind of funny. Okay. So, here's our hot mess one. Oh, it's not too bad of a hot mess. We just got some extra going here that we have to clean up. But overall, I do like it. It's really pretty. So this is the back side of this one. It's a cool effect. Let's see the front side. I still think I like the front side the better. This is with the, oops, without the rubbing off. Let's focus camera. This one's kind of cloudy. I think it's not fully cured on the front for whatever reason. So what I would say is peeling it off, you're getting a little bit more muted coloring. Probably. It's a little bit hard to tell because we have the pink in here, which was a muted pink. So, but in comparison, oh, that one on the left is so cloudy. In comparison, our greens, though, are definitely a little bit more muted. So I would say that it just mutes it if you peel off the paper. I'm going to throw those back under there for a moment. That one especially just felt a little tacky. So I just want to get it cured on up and before I put it in a baggie. So we're going to call this paint pen off back thick, sort of, since one ended up rubbed off and one didn't. You know, wasn't a full success, but it's all good. Okay, so then let's turn this off. So this does have 2-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute setting. And then you just set it another time to turn it off. There, you just have to go through those settings. So, pretty cool. I do like that light a ton. It has been a lifesaver when working with UV resin. Biggest part is the front and the back, or the top and bottom, is what I would tell you. Having a light that only has the top, especially if you're going to use colorants or fillers like micas or anything of that nature that's going to glitter even, can make it really hard for the UV resin to cure because it obstructs the light getting there. I would highly recommend this light. Let's Resin UV light, the dual version, just because of that curing factor. You're getting the light from the bottom and the top, and that's phenomenal. And like I said, it does have the multiple settings. I rarely ever, this pesky little, right here, I rarely ever use more than the 2-minute. The only time that I probably use like a 3 or 5-minute is if I'm using a really dark mica powder or glitter and it's real thick. Then I will use it, especially if you're trying to go black, because when you're that dark of a color or a brown, it just can't, the resin can't let the light through to cure it. Essentially, you're blocking that light out. So going the longer time is going to help, but you have to do real thin layers of that. And this double light does make a huge difference, especially in doing that and then having the longer time too. So for doing clear, 2 minutes is perfect. You don't need more than 2 minutes for that clear to be hardened. I think on that last set, it didn't harden up as much. I should be cutting this while I'm telling you. Because we had done some water on the one next to it, and I think the water just kind of seeped in and caused some havoc, essentially. It's fine, and it will be able to be buffed up and cleaned up. I don't have a concern with that. It's just, you know, if you don't want to create more issues for yourself, maybe avoid that. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so this one I'm going to put inside resin because I am trying to make it just a little bit smaller. So we're going to stick it up there. This is the copy paper. I'm excited to see how it turns out. I'm like, see what happens with it. Okay, there's those. These ones are going to go on the back of the ones that are curing. Alrighty, and as always, I will post in the notes what I've used and Amazon links to like the resin and to this lamp so that you have access to it. So we're not going to rush these this time because we're doing fine, obviously on time. I'm not that we weren't doing fine. I wanted to try to get you as much packed into this one as I could. But we're not, now that I know, I just want to not take these out of the inside of these while we're doing them. Just because I feel like that really kind of messed that last round up a little bit and I was rushing. So we will slow it down a smidge. I won't be much rubbing off the back because it really is absorbing the resin. The copy paper tends to do that because it's so thin. and that's fine. So we'll let that cure up, and then we'll be able to dome them. It still gives us an idea, even though we're not taking the back off, it gives us an idea of what look you're going to get and which one you might get a better seal, less bubbles, things like that. These are all things you got to kind of work out so that when you're not when you're not experimenting, you hopefully have really good results. Okay, so I'm just writing on our tape paint pens. Oops, I can't spell. Thin paper. And I'm not going to put on top or rub off or anything because you know what? We will know. Paint pens, thin into resin. We get the idea. So yeah, if you can work out some of these things on the front end, you will make your life a little bit easier when, let's say, you're actually preparing for something special. Like whether you're creating something for a family and it's a special gift, you don't want to be working out some of these finer details because that will get frustrating, and then it becomes on a time crunch, and then you rush, and that's when more mistakes happen. And trust me, I know, been there, done that. Y'all don't need to mark it off your bingo card, okay? I've done it. I already marked it off my bingo card. You know, just learn from me is what I would say. So yeah, you just don't want to be rushed. Or like if you're commissioned to make something, which would be fantastic, or you're doing some art festival or farmer's market or whatever it may be, craft show, and you're trying to build your inventory, you just don't want to have to worry about it. Alright, so yeah, there's not going to be really any taking any of that paper off because it's really absorbed into the resin. But we do need one more layer on top of here to give us that domed finished effect so that we don't have any paper showing and so that we have this top pretty leveled out opposed to a little roly-poly and bumpy there that we had going. And just more than anything, I'm not so worried about bubbles in the back, but what I wanted to do is make sure that I had resin covering the entire thing, which is why I did that. So we'll cure that up, and then we'll reveal them. And then we've got one more set. So we were able to get this one into a one part of the series opposed to two, like the last medium. So, medium. I'm really tired, obviously. I can't speak. So because of that, what I would say is that the next medium that we do, hopefully we can do the same. We can get it into one as well. It may be a little bit longer just because of what we're going to be doing, but we'll see. And then we will do a final tutorial. The last of the series will be cleaning up all the earrings and putting hardware on them and deciding which version we like the best. Once the hardware is on them, I'm not going to be worried about, and once we decide what's our favorite, I'm not going to be worried about keeping them in the labeled bags. I can use my bags again, take off that piece of tape, and we'll use them for next time. Next project. Well, probably not next project, because I'm hoping that weather is trending towards summer and we can actually do some pouring and get consistent with some bigger pours and not into the UV resin as much, just for the season. Resin comes in seasons for me, so when it's cold we are doing UV resin, things of that nature. When it is warm, we can do the pours of the resin and work towards completing some other projects like pouring that is super sensitive to the temperature of the craft space. So that's why I don't pour in the winter time. Alright, look at these. These are domed up really nicely. Got some color coming through, but clearly this would not be the front. This other side would be. So we're going to pop them both out. so that I can get them in hand and turn them at the same moment. Oh my goodness, I do love these paint pens, and this look is just stunning. So much vibrant in color on such a small piece. Those are really pretty. Truly pretty. And pretty much bubbleless. This one has some little thing going, but I think it kind of adds to it. So those are gorgeous. I'm going to let them cool just a smidge before I throw them in the bags. We're going to get these ones going. So fill these up because we are going to put the pieces of paper directly into the mold. Yes, I have a big old bubble, but one, it's going to pop like that. And two, I knew I had to still get around the hardware spot and up and around that hole. So I wasn't concerned about the big old bubble because I knew I'd be getting it popped. Okay. I don't really see any major bubbles. There's maybe a couple, but I'm not overly concerned about them. So we're just going to go right on in. I almost got that cut to perfection. What is that from? Perfection. Oh man, that's going to bug me now. Made me think of something, and now I don't know what it was that it's made me think of. This one, not so much. Whoops. Okay. Well, we'll just come on over it. That's fine. Perfection. Goodness, that's going to drive me crazy. Y'all. What's that from? It's just perfection. That's what I'm thinking of. It's like it's some southern show or movie. And y'all, it's just perfection. Can't stop. Can't stop. Okay, pop those in. Let's see. These have just a smidge that I can clean up maybe with my finger. It's probably the worst thing for my nails, but you know. It's not like I have much nail anyway, because anxiety biting of them, which I know is a horrible habit, but yep. At least I can acknowledge it, right? Right. Alrighty. Those are pretty. I really like those. We'll see how these others come out. I might have ended up with bubbles where they kind of slumped in there. I really like these though. I think it'd be really pretty to do even just like some solid colors, or do a pendant that you get a bigger piece of it, or even like, you know, a bezel shape or something would be really cute, so that you get more of that color. I think that would be beautiful type thing to do. That's my thoughts on it. That way you get more color and so forth with it, so that you can see more of it. I think I'd like that. I think I'd like that. It's perfection. I really don't know what that's from, y'all. I probably just made it up, but I feel like it's from something. So if you do know what it's from, hit me up in the comments so that I can stop driving myself insane. I really don't know what it would be from. Those look kind of cool on the back side. Oh, they don't look so cool out of the light. The light made them look really neat. But now that they're out of the light, I was like, oh, they aren't really cool. I was like, oh, those back sides are looking cute. You can tell I'm tired because my accent's also coming out more. Like, I am tired. full time. You craft in your quote unquote spare time. Guess what? Guess what? People are always like, where's your accent from? I'm like, how long do you have? Because truthfully, it's a little twang that just is created by me. It is a one of a kind. My parents would always say, when school's in, she gets her accent back. And when she's around adults all summer, she doesn't have her accent. I just kind of, based on who I'm around, is kind of how my accent flows. It's unintentional that I kind of mimic people's accents. And then it comes out completely different, obviously. It comes out really bad if I've been drinking and I'm a little tipsy, or if I'm tired. And I think that I went about 15-20 minutes past my tired stage. So that could be a problem for the next series. But I'll tell you, I did record this one pretty quickly after the other one, so I am pulling a later night trying to get caught up on some series, or caught up on these episodes for this series, so that I have some episodes in reserve, because I have things planned this summer and I need to be a little bit free and ahead of the game, because I won't always be in my craft area to be able to record tutorials. So to keep me on track of one tutorial a week, I have to stockpile a few. So that was tonight. One of the goals was to get 2 episodes recorded, but that makes for a long night for me, and I didn't get kiddo to bed so timely, so that delayed. And then, you know, just snowballs. So yeah, I'm tired. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, y'all. Alright. These are pretty good. This one, it kind of did that thing that the one did where the bubbling bubbled upwards. Like, if I could figure out what causes that, that would be a fun thing to do. But I don't know what causes that. Unless it's the heat. I don't know. Because it doesn't happen every time. Alright. These ones have a little bit more, you know, this extra thing going on. So I'm just getting some of it off. Not all, but some. Okay. Let's see how these look. I wish I could figure out how I do that. Like, if I could repeat that look, it's a cool look. But, anyhow. Look at those. So I do really love the paint pen option. And I think I like it on the copy paper the best. Thus far. That looks so cool. That looks really neat. So, that is where we're going to leave it for tonight. Since y'all stuck out with me. And, yeah. Hopefully I don't play this one back and be totally embarrassed. But you know what? You're going to see it anyway, because it is what we got. And like I said, I have things planned this summer, so won't be, hopefully you guys won't miss a week though. You won't even know that I'm not actually in the craft space. So got a couple trips planned and super excited. So we're gonna get some of these recorded ahead of time so that you guys don't miss a beat. And yeah, hope you guys enjoying this crazy series with me experimenting. Next week, stay tuned. I'm not going to tell you what medium we're going to use, because I want to keep it a surprise, and I want you to come back and see what we're going to use. I'm really excited about it. I have high hopes for it, but I don't know if it's going to work. And we may have to split it into 2 episodes, or it will be maybe one really long one. I have a feeling. So just know that and be prepared. All right. Hope everybody's doing great. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And I am going to bed. We'll see you later. Bye.